Arsenal are pushing to sign Atlético Madrid striker Alvarez, with talks understood to be at a beginning stage. Yeah, good evening. Welcome along to the transfer show. Bringing in a striker has been a primary focus for Arsenal this summer. We'll take a look at what feat it could take to get the deal done. Mikel Arteta played in convincing a striker to join Arsenal. Only one place to start. Arsenal's search for a striker. How close are they to getting it over the line? It feels like for the first time in a number of windows, Arsenal fans are finally going to get to see the magic number 9 walk through the door at the Emirates. It's been the position that they've been coveting. It's the position they've been desperate for the club to go in action. And it feels like finally we can start to talk about this deal getting closer. Now, how close is the question? We know that Arsenal are pushing hard and they are in beginning talks at the moment. There's been no club-to-club agreement between Atlético Madrid and Arsenal, but the conversation continues between the two football clubs. There are some reports out there suggesting that Alvarez has told his friends, yeah, I'm only interested in Arsenal. Arsenal is a team for me. Arsenal is a team I want. And that he's also made that quite clear to the hierarchy at Atlético Madrid. Atletico, as far as they're concerned. I guess Dish, they know they've pretty much lost a player. He's played as many games as he's going to play at Atlético Madrid. And what an incredible 2 years it's been, 67 goals in 102 appearances. It is simply phenomenal, hence why now we're talking about this potential move. Maybe that celebration will be seen in the Premier League not too far away. Yeah, due just to add to that, Mark, Arsenal thought to be encouraged by the player's desire to join. Personal terms not expected to be a problem, but in a fresh development, Atlético Madrid have given Alvarez permission to delay his return for pre-season. Now, we know pre-season gets underway for a lot of clubs, not only in the Premier League, but around Europe tomorrow. Yeah, that's a week after some of his teammates. That's when he was due back. So some of them have actually gone back a week ago, but he's now been given until Friday as these talks with Arsenal progress. And there is no certainty, given what you've just been saying, that he's going to return at all. Now, you did say, despite these talks being advanced, there's no club-to-club agreement just yet. What is it going to take for there to be this club-to-club agreement? Well, this feels like a little bit of a grey area. Now, normally, when we go into transfer negotiations and we're talking about them, we've got a bit of an idea about what the prices the selling club are looking for. Normally, it's the first question you'll ask your contacts. Okay, fine, but how much is it going to cost to get this deal done? Now, this is where it gets a little bit confusing because there were rumoured reports that when Victor Yares went to Sporting Lisbon from Championship side Coventry, there was a release clause inserted into that contract. There was €100 million, which is around £150 million. Now, he's 26 years old, and even the president of Atlético Madrid has come out and said, look, we know we're not going to get £150 million for a 26-year-old striker. No one from Spain is going to leave for that kind of money. So therefore, we have to be sensible. And we have to understand that actually, if we're going to recoup back some of the cash we invested and get this kind of sum into the club, we're going to have to soften our approach on this rumoured release clause. Now, there were suggestions, it was around 100 million. Yeah, because there was that rumour, wasn't there, that Julian Alvarez had some sort of agreement with Atlético Madrid that he could leave for that amount of money. Yeah, but gentlemen's agreements in football, rarely do they ever seem to work out. You hear about these things and you've probably heard about them a number of times over the years between certain players and certain owners, but very often the agreement is always not quite on the same page. Now, we did say that we understood it to be 110 million. However, Federico Varandas has come out and said there's absolutely no chance that Alvarez will be leaving for 110 million in this window. So between 50 million the release clause and 150 million the rumoured release clause. You'd imagine the fee that Arsenal would have to pay will be somewhere in between. You get that feeling that that's where they're going to be. It's going to be probably around 110 million, whether that's inclusive of add-ons or plus some add-ons. It's going to have to be that kind of figure to get Alvarez out of Atlético Madrid and into North London. Look, we've been speaking about this very topic for so many transfer windows, haven't we? It has been a primary focus for Arsenal to bring in a striker in this transfer window. They've explored the conditions of a deal for a number of players. But when you look at those two players, they're different profiles and different ages, aren't they?